Today we're going to cover our 2022 Goldwing wish list and beyond. So we've got a different perspective, and we're not going to whine and complain during this video. So let's get into this. Alright, so got some great comments from the channel online from Matthew M. Thank you, Matthew. And it's a great outline for this video. So the first one here is, sadly, Honda has chosen to design a motorcycle without asking their customers what they would like. Well, you know, markets change, right? And to be honest with you, even with the great price we got our 2018 Goldwing at, right, I would not have bought the Goldwing if it was larger than it was right now, right? It was a very big bike, and I think they wanted to have it appeal to more people and change the image of the bike. So rightly or wrongly, I think they did a great job. Just our perspective here at On Down the Road Productions. And given everything, I don't know what they could have done better. So that's number one. Number two, a helmet holder at the left leg of the passenger. Well, personal preference, right? You can create one or fab one if you have to have one that bad. That's my largest thought. You know, there's a lot of regulations for a new motorcycle redesign that have to be complied with, and I do believe you know, anything can be improved, even a Porsche, but I think that's more of a nit for maybe a few people, but not all Goldwing owners. And let's do the next one. No non-glare instrument cluster cover. You know, that definitely would have been a cost increase. I've got close to 2,300 miles on our bike now, and it's not an issue with me. Heck, even in our vehicles, you open the sunroof, the sun glares the readout for navigation. It's just one of those deals, and I'm not going to complain about it. I think a flat surface right here may not have looked very appealing from a curbside perspective before people bought the bike. So I'll disagree on that one too. You're supposed to be out in the sun on your motorcycle, and the sun's the sun. We can't control that. Fuel door release on wrong side of bike. You know, again, I don't think so, because I pull up to the pump this way, and big deal. It's almost like complaining about the horn button not being good enough for everybody, right? You know, is that stopping you from buying a Goldwing because you don't like the fuel door release location? Seriously? So as you can tell, the bike is tipped, you know, to the left, and I'd rather have it here. I know they thought it through. Honda knows how to engineer. Wind management due to less fairing protection. Okay, that was completely redesigned, and my understanding is it has better wind management, better fuel economy because of the redesign than the old version did. So again, on this one, you know, I hope you own a Goldwing, Matthew, to make these kind of comments, but these are the kind of things that like circulate and repeat in the backside, and people repeat them as if they're true. I've had no issue with the stock windshield. You know, some people want to block even more wind, but hey, I've been riding 25 years. Why do you want to block the wind on a motorcycle? What the heck? I love it. Take a hot day like today. It hit 91 yesterday, really humid and windy. I love that wind. It feels great. So I don't think Honda needs to make a change there. OEM seat is like a brick. So let's look at the stock seat. I'm using it. You can see some scuff marks here from my shoes as I get on and off the bike, but I've put, you know, I've had no issues. I'm 6'1", over 200 pounds, and you know, obviously they offer an improved seat as an option, so I don't have a complaint. But our first recommendation for Honda is to offer the optional seat that you know, has more of an inset here. That really should be the standard seat, right? So I'll give you 50% on that one, but obviously people change their seats on their motorcycles all the time. Harleys, Triumphs, Suzuki, Kawasaki. Only with the Rocket would I say it comes with a solo rider seat that is superior, that doesn't need to be swapped out, because I own a Rocket 3 GT. But my point is that you know, they already have the seat available. That would be something rather inexpensively for Honda to do for 2022. It's just make that better seat standard. You know, it is a competitive motorcycle marketplace, so I'll give you that one. Why is it that Honda removed 10% of the bike only for its customers to purchase that 10% aftermarket? I'd like to know how you came up with 10%. Yeah, I know, you know, with the redesign, they reduced luggage capacity, but you know, a lot of people bought the bike and then complained about that after the fact, right? I'm like, well, if that was such an issue, why'd you buy the bike in the first place? Yeah, I mean, carrying a lot of gear is always critical for any motorcycle. Depends how you specifically use it. So the way I use it, I have more than enough space right here, right? Between the two, all these three hard points so far, right? And I haven't put that rack up here because it kind of looks like a sissy bar to me. I just don't like it. It's only good for 18 pounds. So that's where I'm at on that one. So our other recommendations, Matthew, thank you again for your comments. It offered a great outline for this video, and I'm going to get my reading glasses off right now and put on my Joe Cool glasses because I feel the sun's kind of bright on me. So here I am, I'm back. So the next thing we'd like to see, so obviously not just Honda but all the manufacturers have been hit with COVID, right? It's cost companies millions, billions of dollars. The company I work for, the company Teresa works for, Piper's our head of security. It affects everything. And thanks for letting me get that in. So Piper's doing better now. What I'm trying to say is that when someone says, hey, you know, the FM radio in my Lexus is better than the FM radio on a Honda Goldwing, I haven't seen any bikes with an FM radio option past a Harley. And who listens to the radio when they ride? So there are options. You can get an app to listen to any radio station. I believe it's called TuneIn. There's other ones out there, and run it through your Bluetooth system. Goes away immediately. I say thank you to Honda for offering it. And you know, really, I used to play with antennas as a kid. You can fab an antenna on your own if you have to listen to your FM radio. But to sit there and say, my Lexus in the garage gets a radio station 200 miles away, that to me shows a lot of ignorance towards the difference between a motorcycle and a car. Cars right now have 19, 21, even more antennas on them, and I would never compare the Goldwing to my Lexus in the garage. I think it's offensive. I'll say it again. I think people that make their channels on complaining and whining, you need to pay attention out there. We're not making this channel on complaining and whining. I bought the bike, I did my analysis, and you know, if I have to listen to radio 200 miles away from home, I'm going to open up my app and do it through Apple CarPlay. That's really it. You know, so I wouldn't want Honda to spend unnecessary dollars there. The navigation unit. I know it's only got eight waypoints. You know, this Goldwing design was locked in probably 2 years before it hit the market. I know this because I've worked in the automotive industry on the product development side. So you got to lock in the different parts of the bike so you can have a prod date to start making these things, right? So I go back to anything can always be better, but for me, I don't think more than 8 points is necessary. I've been happy enough with the navigation unit. I'm sure the next generation Goldwing will have an even better one. But I think, you know, for what the bike offers, that navigation unit's fine. So this is another area I wouldn't want to see Honda waste money on because people are building channels off complaining and whining. It's frustrating, right? Find a better bike than a Goldwing. Okay, really, seriously. I'm at the point now where I think the Goldwing's better than my Rocket 3 GT. I never saw that coming, right? But I just haven't been on a better touring bike, and I've been on them, and it's manageable. I think the dry weight of 833 pounds on the manual, you know, it's just a great bike to get your hands on. you know, if you can live without the DCT. The next one we have is, you can see here, oh, there we go. You know, so I guess that rear tire's fine, but it could be wider. Again, this is another thing Honda could do, offer the bike with a wider rear tire. The reason I bring that up is the Rocket's got a very wide rear tire, and I just see a lot of advantages to that when you're carrying a lot of gear and going through turns carrying a lot of gear. So you know, if Honda could bring out an optional or standard larger rear size tire, that's an easy quick hit without suffering the millions and millions of development dollars, right? All right, the next one, no changes to the horn button. Again, you know, people think it would be very easy for Honda to you know, change the location of the horn button, blah blah blah, but again, you have to think about vehicle safety standards, the cost of tooling, lining up suppliers, getting the design approved. It's not cheap at all. You know, it's just not cheap at all. And you know, if you need a bigger horn button there, I'm sure somebody could make it, like, you know, maybe a company like Traction Dynamics. I'm fine with the horn button. I've got my muscle memory in place, and I used my horn twice yesterday. So I mean, I don't know. Do I think the horn button on my Rocket 3 GT is in a better location? Yes, but all bikes are different, right? And in this case, you know, if you're buying a bike that you're not going to be happy with, I don't care if it's a Goldwing or not, why the hell are you buying it? So there's two types. There's people that will never buy the bike, that are listening to what they hear regurgitated and complain about a bike, Harley, Honda, whatever, Triumph, whatever. And then there's the people who have actually bought it because at that time that was the bike they wanted, and you know, they're drawing attention to themselves. Well, just sell your damn bike and buy what you want. That's my opinion. All right, so you know, just with, you know, COVID right now, I thought that matte black colors for the bikes, I like the look. So the geriatric crowd maybe doesn't like that look, but that really elevated the bike within the Indian and Harley community. So I get that one 100%, right? But you know, introducing new colors because someone wrote an old version of the Goldwing and they thought the color yellow was popular. No, it's not. I never see a yellow Goldwing on the road. I would just keep the colors the way they are till things get better. Inflation's getting worse as I cut this video. One major port's closed. You know, who even knows if Honda will be able to ship Goldwings in a month or two with the way things are going. I've heard talk about food shortages. I know for a fact that OEMs, their tier 1, tier 2 suppliers are having significant supply issues, or they're incurring shipping costs that are ruining their budgets because of what's going on right now. You know, so the people to blame for that are the people that run these companies and didn't plan accordingly, right? They're to blame. You couldn't predict a pandemic, but when you just arbitrarily cut your chip supply because of the pandemic, you can't blame the company that makes those chips for switching to a different customer. You know, they didn't realize this at the time, you know, or what it would take to re-engage that company to get the chips they need for their assembly lines, right? But add inflation to that, right? So I'm just using that as a general example, right? I know the company I work for works very hard, and on their supply, their supply chain. But you know, all they're going to do is pass the costs on to you and me. And so when you start talking about, I want Honda to do a new horn button, I think you know, Honda should do this and that, major changes to the bike, you know, what value is it for Honda to keep jumping the price of the bike like that? Because it's already an expensive bike, but at the price point it's at, comes in below these $40,000, $50,000, $45,000, $50,000 Harleys, and it's a better bike. It's a better quality built bike, right? So, you know, you're just going to price people out of the market, right? So I say wait for the next gen. I say it to Honda, I say it to anyone else who's listening. You know, if someone wants to make repair videos, I've looked at them. Very grateful for those repair videos, but you know, I question the sincerity of people. and they're true knowledge base, and you should too. I really want to get that across, right? So, you know, you've got people who think they're experts because they have a YouTube channel, and they're not certified motorcycle coaches, nor are they certified mechanics, nor have they worked in the automotive industry or have any direct experience to how these bikes are built. And you know, the world's gotten to be a very expensive place, right? So for 2022, here's our top items that would be nice, that we don't think it would break the bank at Honda given everything that's going on. I know people complained about Sirius XM, and the complaint usually went like this: you know, it's standard on all cars, why isn't it standard for... Well, you know what, you know, listening to the channels that complain like that, you know, it should have been Homelink all along. So maybe Homelink standard, you know, would be a great differentiator, right? I think any changes should differentiate the bike in the market over what it competes against. Bringing back the color yellow because someone wants to whine and complain about it, that's not going to differentiate the bike. I wouldn't buy sparkly yellow on any bike. Now, I have been a big fan of yellow and blue Harleys, that classic base yellow with the blue tank side. That's a good looking bike. And I know people like yellow bikes because of the visibility factor, but even still, what would the volume be on that color? And people don't sit there and go, well, here's what they do. They go, well, you know, Honda can bring back yellow, shouldn't cost them anything. They don't understand reconfiguring the paint booth at the assembly plant and getting the yellow right, and all the other stuff that goes behind that, and getting it lined up. That's not a cheap thing to do, right? So if we hadn't been hit with COVID and this terrible inflation and some of these things that are going on globally right now, sure, you know, bring on all the colors you want, but you know, these are things that are going to raise the price of the bike, right? The next thing we have is the cost advantages of, one, buying the 6-speed over the DCT, and some of the maintenance cost advantages of owning a 6-speed. So to ride the 6-speed, you kind of let the clutch engage, then you give it throttle. It's a really nice feeling. And once you get used to that, the bike is more than quick enough in tour mode. I don't really use sport, right? Because don't need to. You know, tour is all you need. I prefer tour on the highway over econ, at least on Michigan highways, the way people drive. I like the better response to tour mode. So that's a thought. I think Honda, just because, you know, inflation's there, people are struggling. You know, you got your whole group of people who think the DCT is so great. I don't fall into that camp, but that's just me. That's my perspective. But you know, if people were more aware of that 6-speed and the lower price of the 6-speed, you know, at least for the people 40 to 45, 55 years old, they'd consider it. And nothing wrong with that, having a 6-speed Goldwing, you know, but I have felt pressure to feel like less of a Goldwing owner because I don't have a DCT, or I made a mistake. I have felt the pressure of not buying a Goldwing with a DCT. That's some pretty narrow-minded thinking, and I'm linking in this channel Ride Like a Pro, Jerry Palladino. He wrote a 2018 with a 6-speed. He is an expert in my opinion. He's not a fake expert. And he's an awesome motorcycle coach. So I always have that link in these videos. Check that out, then make up your own mind. Okay? That's really it. You know, can anything be better? Absolutely. Does everybody get it right the first time? No, but if you go back to 2018 when this bike came out, lots of excitement around this bike. And I get trimming it down to appeal to more people. You know, for me, when I take it moto camping, the company was IAC out of Canada, but I can't find them again. There's a tray here that goes here to hold a cooler, but it doesn't carry enough weight to carry my tent, right? My Toucan tent, which is about 70 pounds. But there is a tray out there that does that, so that means I think the tray hooks directly to the frame without the bumper hitch. I don't see myself towing Piper with this bike. I thought about it. Poor thing, you know, is over 9 years old, and I just couldn't drag her along the highway in a trailer like that. I wish I could bring her with me though on some of my rides, because she's a great friend to me. And also too, I need to mention, I think this is the way to go, because you know, if it's up in the air, it's harder for my wife to get on it. Number two, this chair is so comfortable, you know, she really doesn't have to hold on a lot of the time, and she's got me, and she knows where these are at, right? But when they're up like this, it's more of an ingress-egress issue. They're kind of up like little wings. I don't like the look aesthetically. And if you go down on your bike, something may hook on this stuff if it's higher up. Obviously, that's why it's curved right here. But, you know, that's just my thought. So maybe Honda could bring this back as an option, or make it standard on the cruiser version of the bike without this on it, because it looks kind of stupid to me to have this up in the air like that, right? And there was already a better product on the aftermarket, you know. And our final thought is on 2022 and beyond, market to a younger crowd. I'm talking 40 and below. Get real aggressive. I'd have commercials, I'd have print ads in like Roadrunner magazine, not just of the Goldwing, but you know, one, it's more comfortable than any Harley I could think of. You know, I would tackle the competition with some great YouTube videos and some very point specific print ads, and I think you'd sell more Goldwings, right? But I am against seeing the price of the Goldwing go up right now. You know, you're making a mistake. Like the new Ford Bronco, I can talk about because I ordered one. Dealers are charging over sticker for that. You pay over sticker for that, or a new Goldwing because supply's tight, whatever, you're going to bear the cost of that. And when they go to value your truck or bike, they're not going to care that you pay 10 grand over sticker, for example. They're going to go by KBB or whatever they use. And the auto companies own that company, so it's a very broken system. So you know, I was forced to pay sticker for our Bronco, but I still might get a Ford A or Z plan. I don't know how. Fingers are crossed. That'll knock the price down. So just saying. Okay, Honda, here's one more example. I'm in traffic at the light. I've got hill hold on, and it's going to stay that way until I decide to move the bike. And I'm going to say it again and again. Having hill hold on the Goldwing is great, but if it only holds for 3 or 5 seconds, this road's relatively flat, but I think you're missing a big one here, Honda. I mean, I've been riding 25 years. It doesn't make me an expert. You know, when I see a channel that says, you know, I've been riding 25 years so you can trust me, as soon as someone says that on their channel, you know, oh, here's a good one. I've been to every dealership in the country, so that qualifies me to talk about Harley financials. Right? Well, look, I have a graduate degree in corporate international finance. I'm qualified to talk about it. They don't. So just be careful with what you listen to out there. You know, it's a tough landscape in YouTube, right? You got the female channels that hide behind female empowerment. They're very entitled channels, and it's scantily clad women in tight jeans, and the clickbait, you know, only shows one thing, and you get into the channel, they don't know anything about what they're talking about, you know. And then the other thing is that if you do have a channel with a lot of subs, these companies like Progressive are just buying clicks by sponsoring your channel. They don't care about the content at all. They just want to buy clicks, right? So that's really everything I've got. Big thank you to everyone who subscribed. I know it's been a little bit since my last video. I've just been really intense with my current job and some other things going on, and I'm looking at re-engaging here with more videos again. I just hit a creativity plateau, and you know, the negative side of YouTube, you know, there's a negative side to YouTube with some of the people that are on it that kills my creativity, right? And if other people could admit it, that'd be nice, but I doubt they won't, but I will, right? Hey, we are going to keep burning down the road. Thank you for being here. If you share, like, subscribe, we got to get this channel to 1,000. As you noticed, I don't whine and beg for that, but we've been out about a year now, and if anyone helps in that area, salute. So we'll see everybody next episode. These were our thoughts around 2022 and beyond. And Honda, if you're listening, awesome. Until next episode, salute.